having their understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of God, through the ignorance that is in them, because of the blindness of their hearts. Ephesians 4:18. Men are ignorant because of the blindness of their heart. I've told you before that the blindness in a man's heart is stronger and more forceful than the blindness of a man's eyes. That's why if I bring Minister Vic, before bringing Minister Vic to him, right? If I say to him, this woman is evil, this woman is a bad woman, but I'm just going to bring her. Then I go and fetch and come. And you start to show him love. You start to show him kindness. You start to show him care. Now what he can see with his optical eyes is the love and care that you're showing him. But what he will be working with is the bad things that are said about you. Because the heart has been blinded to anything good about you. Even though his eyes can see what is good, that even makes her more suspicious. It's really true. They didn't even add this one to it. She's also a serpent. See the way she's pretending as if she's good. The more she tries to be good, he said, I will never fall. I knew before you came. But all that he can see is good. Because of the blindness. That is why we beg men to receive Jesus as their Lord and Savior, and it's difficult. That is why when we try to preach the gospel of Jesus, men will say, forget about this Jesus. Men will say, who is this Jesus? When we say Jesus is good, they will mock us. Now, the Bible says in the book of John, chapter number 1, right? It said, he was in the world. Speaking of Jesus, the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. Well, the world was made by him. And he came into the world that was made by him. And that world looked at him and said, we don't know you. Oh, ye sons of men, come, for I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. They said, we don't know you. Oh, ye sons of man, why should you die? Why should you suffer eternal condemnation? I am the Lord. He said, we don't know you. I mean, whom the prophet spoke about, and they picked up stones. And the next verse says, he came into his own, and his own received him not. That which he made, he came into it. His own received him not. Why? The blindness. I think that's John chapter 1, verse 10 and 11. Because of the blindness. You see what the devil has done to man. You see the state of man. That was why when he was buried and resurrected, he said, do not just look at me and assume that they know what they are doing. He said, do not just listen to what they say and think they know what they are saying because of their age or positions in the society. He said, go ye into all the world and preach to all creatures. And he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. You remember Jesus looked at the people that said crucify him, and he was nailed to that ugly cross and said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. But they thought they knew what they were doing. Just as it is today, that your roommate thinks she's wiser than you. That's your friend that will not listen to this gospel of Jesus. Thinks he's smarter than you. Because of the blindness of their heart. But you see, this message that we preach is not for the dead, but for only the living. This message of Jesus that we preach can only benefit us as men while we are on the earth, while we still have breath in our nostrils. For it's appointed unto man to die once. But after this, the judgment. No wonder the book of Hebrews chapter 2 verse 3, it says, how shall we escape if we neglect such a salvation? Then here is the escape route from eternal condemnation. If we escape this life that has been presented unto us, say how shall we neglect it? Because of the danger. Hear me, child of God. Now that we have people that are preaching to you, this is the time. This is the hour. Do you remember the rich man that found himself in hell while the poor beggar by the name of Lazarus was in the bosom of Father Abraham? You remember when the rich man was saying, oh, send somebody from here, send a messenger to tell my brothers. I have 5 brothers. To tell them that hell is real. Send somebody to tell them that preaching of the gospel is not foolishness. In fact, that is the true wisdom. Because at that time, he realized that his own time has passed. He could not be saved anymore. Then he thought of his brothers. Probably one was a fornicator. Maybe another one a drunk or an adulterer. Maybe another one was a rich man that would oppress the poor in the society. Covet the lands and properties of the poor. He was in the world. He knew the life he lived in the world. You would not tell me that there was never a time that Lazarus tried preaching to him. Maybe he looked at Lazarus and said, what does a poor beggar have to offer? But now his eyes became open in the other side of life. Touch somebody, say there's another side. Hey. And when his eyes got open, he said, oh, mine is over. My brothers that are still alive. Oh, Jesus. And he was told. They have Pastor Joseph Alfred. They have the prophets. It's 11, hear them. If they will not hear them, they will not hear anybody from the dead.